this is a great time for us to kind of introduce a new segment, a dedication to a dinosaur sighting, a complete game shutout. This means that the Mets need somebody to step up as a stopper, and that guy has to continue to be David Peterson, who had the complete game shutout against the Nationals, looks as confident as ever, and now with Senga down, is the front guy in this rotation right now. As you see, 9 innings pitched against the Nationals last Wednesday, 6 hits, no runs, no walks is the big number for me, Joe. The 6 strikeouts, nice, but no walks for Peterson across 9 innings. While the competition's going to heat up, I know the Braves have struggled this year, but it's still the Atlanta Braves lineup, and of course you're going to have the Phillies. But with Peterson here, Joe, the Mets need to not only have him continue to be on the same pathway he's been on the last year and a half, but can he continue to evolve and be the front guy for this rotation while the Mets wait for not only Manaya's return, but Senga as well?
What I loved hearing, Connor, was Peterson basically telling Mendoza, I want to finish this game. In a modern day where pitch counts and all these things come about, to have sort of that, to use the term dinosaur mentality of, I want the ball, I want to finish it. He was up, I want to say it was like 97 pitches through 8 or 98 pitches. And I knew that the Mets were going to limit him to some degree, but he went out and took care of business, and couldn't be more impressed and happy for David Peterson, because you could see like the emotion in his face when he actually completed the game, how much it meant to
He
him that he was able
smiled.
to do it. Yeah, which is not exactly the most common thing that you're going to get from David Peterson. What I will say is he is establishing himself as a frontline guy. This is not, oh man, Kodai Senga's down. The Mets need to, Peterson needs to step up and
Right.
become this, because on the season, and I'm going to do this season, then I'm going to go back a little bit. On the season, through 13 starts, 2.49 ERA. If you want to take it back to this day of 2024, so he made his return from hip injury at the very end of May, but just to keep a solid number, I did 6/17 to 24 through 6/17 25. 31 starts, call it full season, 184 innings pitched, 2.59 ERA. David Peterson, straight up for a calendar year now, once he got healthy from the hip, is pitching like a frontline guy. And I see no reason why that's going to stop just because they're facing Atlanta or a more difficult opponent. But sure, it is important for him to continue on this trajectory while Senga is out, which I'd say we target shortly after the All-Star break. Like that's kind of, I think, the idea when you could maybe expect to see Senga back. But man, been so impressed with David Peterson and outperforming expected statistics, which is a whole big conversation as far as how much we care about expected statistics. They matter, but they certainly don't tell the whole story. And, Peterson's the kind of guy, I tweeted this, I put in our group text, and I mean it. Extend David Peterson.
I'm with you all the way. It's going to be an interesting combo as he has one more arbitration year after this. So David Peterson, to kind of piggyback off your point, Joe, the thing that sticks out with me in his last 2 years, which is 34 starts, he's walking around 3 guys over 9. His 4 combined years before that, he was walking over 4 guys over 9. So you're talking about a total 1 walk difference over 9. He's just not putting as many runners on base as we were accustomed to. And he was good at getting out of those problems quite often. It helps a lot when the home runs over 9 have been significantly down. The last 2 years, he gives up about half a home run over 9, which is an incredible number, by the way, across all of baseball. Where before that, he was typically a guy that could be around, 1.3 to 1.5 home runs over 9. So less guys on base, less home runs given up have led to excellent results for David Peterson, who's healthy and confident. And it was interesting. You brought up he's kind of the poster child for a guy getting lucky, or it's like, hey, this is going to turn at some point because the advanced numbers are saying that, this is going to be a problem. James Wood, who is a star for the Nationals. And if you don't get to watch a lot of the Nationals, James Wood was one of the pieces they got back in the Juan Soto trade. And he has just been an amazing player for them. He kind of spoke on it. He was like, he was getting ahead and getting early contact. And just that's how he kind of pitches his way to, being able to pitch deep into games. And this is something we talk about with Peterson all the time during the scoreboard, where we try to predict how many pitchers are going to go at least 6 innings for the Mets. Peterson is one of the guys that we can rely on, and it's because of his style of pitching. And maybe that doesn't play to the advanced analytics, but and dealing with this in the football scouting world all the time, you don't want to make a living betting off of outliers. But I think David Peterson's style is an outlier that you start to feel like this isn't a fluke. This isn't a bit of a stretch here where it's going to bottom out. This is just kind of who he is. So the Mets are going to need more from him, which I know is a lot to ask, but if he can continue to give them more, that contract extension conversation is going to be really, really interesting.